Hello, Dr. Atkinson. My name is Lauren Lombardi, and today I'm going to talk about gender and the media. The internet is everywhere. We use it all the time. We're using it right now. There is a mindless use when it comes to the media. There are so many patterns that represent men and women in a stereotypical way. The key issue is to identify those patterns. What sticks in one's head? When it comes to gender, there are two key assumptions. The first one, we assume there's only two categories, male and female. Secondly, we assume that these two categories are naturally and biologically different. I would like to now talk about Pascoe's book on gender and how he states a major term called heteronormativity. Heteronormativity is what deeply connects sex and gender and orientation. Pascoe's book is all about this connection, how masculinity is shown through a sexualized discourse, how we as a society look at the way gender acts as a form of power in our society, and how it operates within individuals. Women and men are always in relation to one another. They are seen as binary. Binary means one or the other, male or female, man or woman. In the media, they look at women through body image, such as beauty, pretty, gorgeous, beautiful, nurturing, mother, passive, to name a few. While on the male perspective, they are seen as strength, athletic, tough, able-bodied, provider, breadwinner, and handyman, to name a few. There are certain tropes that provide the classic character in the media, and these are seen as women being the smart but manipulative, and men being the tough and doofy husband. What I'm trying to get at is the media projects hegemonic masculinity as the dominant form, while does not emphasize femininity as dominant at all. It always comes back to the relationship between femininity and masculinity. Femininity is not dominant when it comes to masculinity. There are two types of studies when it comes to gender in the media. Firstly, what is represented in the media? Secondly, how do these representations affect people, such as the audience responses? There now is a video that I would like to talk about created by Jeannie Davis, in which she institutes on gender in the media. She talks about how there is an unbalance between gender representation in the media, how people learn from what they are exposed to, such as masculinity being the dominance. There is a negative representation of men and women in the media. Women are hypersexualized. There is a norm now of what they should look like. There is a demand for better media in 2015. The second video I would now like to discuss is by Jeannie Kilborn. It's called The Naked Truth. She talks about how the images of men and women are constructed in advertising. The impact of the media is quick. Seeing images from day to day, again and again, for however many years, can impact one's society. Men are photoshopped to look bigger. Women are photoshopped to be smaller. The image isn't real. It is constructed. The media's response has left huge impacts on self-esteem on young women and men. It has been known to be more intense for women, though. Women are highly valued for their appearance, and a lot of femininity has to deal with one's appearance. Physical perfection leads to diets, depression, and mental illness. There is a huge issue of objectification, treating someone as an object. Example, seeing ads of women's bodies which only represent their legs or their bodies, can lead to hypersexuality. Kilborn states how there is a differential objectification for men and women. Women in the media are portrayed in vulnerable situations, while men are seen in the powerful situation. Moving on, I would like to focus on the male gaze. The idea of the gaze is to think about how an audience views the people being presented. Think about the camera itself in a film or a music video. Think about where the camera is and how it is looking at a specific person. The camera is assumed that there is a heterosexual man behind the camera producing what society wants people to see. Lastly, I would like to talk about the Bechdel test. The main point I'm going to be talking about is the presence of women in film. The Bechdel test assesses women in film. There are 3 simple questions. 1. Are there 2 or more women who have names? Secondly, do they talk to each other? Thirdly, do they talk to each other about something other than a man? There is a systemic problem. The entire media industry is creating movies that are catered around men. Does the role have something more than just supporting the man's story? It all has to come back to the hegemonic masculinity that our society has created. The media reinforces the male dominant system, how women are seen as sex objects for men. In conclusion, our society has put these stereotypes on the male and female genders. The issue is to identify this problem, and to identify this problem quick. We need to change the way people view the media. The media is a strong thing. The media can change people's views, in which we need to do.